Hello and welcome. In this video, we'll continue where we left off on the journey and tips that I have for you starting out, pushing level 10, or if you're just new to the game. First, let's break out of this cell and follow along with the quest on Belfira Island. This will be the tutorial for ESO and get us off on a good start. Once Naranwe has let us out of our cell, we're going to be prompted to select a weapon. All the choices available to you are the Destruction Staff, the Restoration Staff, the Sword and Shield, dual-wield weapons, two-handed weapons, or the bow. All the weapons are actually a better approach. If you choose to pick up all the weapons on Balfira, which is a tutorial island, you'll simply need to get one kill with each equipped in order to open their skill lines more directly. You can test them out and choose which one works for you. In PvE, in most cases, stabs are related to Magicka players' Magicka builds, such as healers or DPS. Martial weapons like the dual wield or the two-handed are usually associated with stamina builds. The sword and shield, you guessed it, the tank. Just choose whatever takes your fancy and go with it. You can always change your mind later. Now with a weapon equipped, Naranwe is going to lead you into your first enemy encounter. Don't worry though, it's a test dummy that she has brought to life. It'll teach you your light attacks, your heavy attacks, your ripostes, your interrupts, and how to block. Time those properly, and you have the basic or the core combat skills of ESO down. Now, keep in mind, heavy attack has something associated with it that does not teach you. Heavy attacks will restore the primary resource in which you usually utilize, whether that be magicka from a staff or stamina with a martial weapon. Practice with the dummy for as long as you need to. Remember, you're taking your time. Don't rush things. Get the experience and learn the game at your pace. What she said. With moves like that, the Daedra doesn't stand a chance. Yes, we're ready to set out. Moving on to the key rights gallery. In the next area, you'll be prompted to go into stealth, with an enemy at the end of the hall. Instead, choose to vanquish this enemy, and then loot around in the urns. You'll need to find yourself at least one lockpick. Here, you can either attempt to open the door the conventional way, or simply, with a 100% chance to force the lock, simply press whatever command button you are prompted to. On the other side of this door is an armory. Once in the armory, take a look around. You'll find an assortment of weapons and armor here. There's light armors, medium armors, and heavy armors. Heck, even look at a replacement for your weapon, since it is now below your current level. Equipping 3 of any type of armor at the same time, of the same type, will grant you its respective skill line, each with passives, pros, and cons. Armor is tied to its intrinsic value of physical and spell resistances. You'll want to make a selection, but here's my suggestion. For leveling purposes, I run a mix of what's considered a 2-2-3 combination, seeing as you only have 7 weighted or body slots. For example, here, a Magicka character, usually prioritizing light armors. So I'll use a heavy chest, a heavy legs, a medium helmet, and medium boots, filling my shoulders, gloves, and sash slots with light armors. The head, chest, and legs have the highest armor ratings, and so heavier weighted pieces benefit more here, whereas the sash and gloves are opposite, offering the lowest armor values. It's up to you what to wear, especially for now.
gallery should be east of here. Let's set out.
Continuing on, you'll find yourself in a courtyard. Take the time to open the weapon skill lines and familiarize yourself and adjust to the core combat skills. Practice what we learned with the test dummy. Explore a little and enjoy yourself. Wrapping up the tutorial, you'll find yourself in the portal room. You'll have a lot of choices here. You'll have DLC zones and original starter zones. My suggestion to newer players is to typically start in the older zones such as Canarthy's Roost, Balfoyen, or Stros Mackay. Each are typically tied to whatever alliance you chose at the start of the game. The reason I say this is the quests there will reward you with skill points upon their completion, and it's so much more rewarding. Albeit, it's not as cool as the newest DLC or the stories that come with that. I will say this though, completing the quests in order is so much more rewarding in the way that the characters will interact with you. Now that we're out of the tutorial, you'll want to find yourself the nearest way shrine. Activate it and it'll open the map. You'll want to port to one of these three cities: Daggerfall, Velkelgard, or Davin's Watch. Here, you'll be able to unlock the Fighters Guild and Mages Guild skill lines. I'll be using Glenumbra. Starting at the Fighters Guild, I'll go inside and talk to the man with the quest marker above his head. Finish the dialogue, accept the quest, and gain the skill line. The same will work once you exit the building and go to the Mages Guild and speak to the NPC with the quest marker above her head. Accept it, and gain the skill line. The Fighters Guild is good to get early on as you'll be killing a lot of Daedra, and this will passively level up the Fighters Guild. For the Mages Guild, you'll need to complete dailies, or pick up lore books in order to progress this skill line. Both are good to have, and I highly recommend getting them this early on. That'll do it. Stay tuned as we wrap up these early game tips and gameplay to level 10 next time. Thanks for watching.